Welcome to the Carla, Marie, and Anthony show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
What?
You're still taking.
I still got. Well, okay.
Okay, stop moving.
Let me explain something. If we look a little lopsided today, my chair is literally this wide. It's off the screen. That's how wide this chair is.
I'm looked all
and
over.
Carla Marie is in a very normal size.
Man, I haven't sat down in jean
chair.
shorts in a while.
So the size is a little weird. I don't know.
I can't wear these in a 2-hour car ride. I have to change.
You do whatever you want. No one told you to wear jean shorts in a car ride.
Because they get stuck up your pieces.
Your Reese's Pieces?
Your Reese's Pieces.
Let's see. Florida traffic is the worst. I will also say I've driven around. What?
The drivers. Is that what you're going to say?
I've driven around a lot of places in America. I've visited, I don't know, almost 40 of our 50 states. And driven around the country, across the country a few times. Florida drivers are hands down the worst drivers.
It is. I mean, like.
Because they're belligerent. They're just belligerent all the time. And I've driven a lot in Florida too, especially in the past couple months because I've been here 3 times. I've driven every single time I've been here. And it doesn't matter the time of day. It doesn't matter the type of road you're on. They're just lunatics.
Like literal psychopaths.
Lisa, thank you very much for the 2 gifted subs.
Guys, we don't have alcohol to drink.
What do we have? Oh, you know what? We'll try a new energy drink when we get through.
I already had a gummy today.
I had 2 gummies today.
Why did you do that?
Because I was like, let's go.
That's why you're being a dick.
I'm not being a dick.
As soon as we landed on the East Coast, Anthony was like, and he keeps calling me, what do you keep calling me? An East Coast bitch.
No. I'm not calling you an East Coast bitch.
You keep saying.
I keep, if I do something that's more aggressive.
And I'm like,
I just say, we're on the East Coast, bitch.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I got to bring back my East Coast swag.
Should I say what you said? Yeah, no, people watch this with their kids.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I think the B word is probably as far as we should go.
What you said yesterday when you looked at the menu at breakfast.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't say that. Welcome to Florida.
How can I say it? Maybe in My Day Friday.
Maybe. We'll see. What else do we have here? Sweet headboard. What is our headboard? Oh, yeah. It's a pretty cool headboard.
We have a surprise we're going to show you behind one of the curtains.
Behind curtain number 1 or curtain number 2?
Yeah, if you guys pick the wrong curtain, then you don't get to see it.
One has the outside. The other has a special surprise. Let's see. The Trump billboards on the Turnpike are terrible. So we were on 95 yesterday. There's a lot of them. And listen, I mean, every politician, whether you agree with them or not, has billboards up at some point.
I've never seen that many.
But I've never seen like a non-election billboard. And
it's about an event.
It's a tour. It's like, I guess Donald Trump and his gang are like, because I think Candace Owens is on there. Is it plural or one? Is it Owen or Owens?
I don't know.
No, she's the last name on it.
I don't know. We beat her in Top Podcast, so I don't care who her name is.
Who else?
Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Sarah Huckabee. What's her?
Sanders.
Sanders is on there. It's like, it's just a weird billboard.
Yeah.
And then you were looking up,
it's almost $4,000 if you want a top tier ticket and you get a wristband and
it's $100 to watch $9 to watch the live stream, which is more expensive than our show. But I guess they have bigger names. I mean, everyone knows those names.
True.
Not everyone knows the Carla, Marie, and Anthony show yet, but they will. They will.
We're gonna have billboards.
Let's see.
And we're gonna charge $4,000
to everyone who got us through Hype Train Level 3. So once we get to Hype Train Level 5.
Oh, did you update our video speeds? Because
are people having a...
Yeah, we're buffering. Can you do that on our end?
I can try to do it on our end. It might be a little more glitchy. Let's see. Video. Yeah, actually, I reduced... Yeah, there's not a lot I can do at this point from where we are. Sure. Yeah. For all the nerds out there, we export our stream, or we stream it in 720, not 1080. Because it lowers what you need to get it to people.
We tried using the phone, but it's still not enough. I mean, what we're doing is like between the camera itself and the actual stream, it's so much. Mm-hmm. So much.
Also, for all the nerds out there, we have download speeds currently at 8.58 and upload speeds of 9.06.
I think
so we are right on the threshold of
that's what it looks like. Okay. Maybe we won't get to all those things today.
Maybe not. You know what, though? Let's just let's start rolling with it then. I know the hype train is going on. If we get to level 5 of the hype train, we are going to crack open The Rock's new energy drink, his pre-workout called Zoa.
He is not paying us for this.
I mean, most of the companies that we drink their products of don't pay us.
Well, The Rock should.
He has a lot of money.
Can you imagine? He was like, I will give you $1 million to talk about my drink.
It would be.
These are the things I dream about and put into the universe.
It would be a waste of money because he's already doing pretty well. But yeah, Carla Marie, when she was out yesterday, I had her get some pre-workout things from GNC, and she brought that one back. So I've never tried it. What?
Jen said, I clicked on low latency in advanced settings on Twitch and the buffering stopped. So low latency. Try that.
Try that out. So we have that. If we get to Hype Train level 5, right now we're at Hype Train level 3. We are going to talk about March Madness briefly, the best time of the year. Shout out Seton Hall, which got through a very tough game very late last night against Georgetown at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Today we will play UConn. Those pieces
Go
of
Huskies.
absolute dumpster trash.
Go Dogs. Go Huskies.
From UConn.
Beat Pirates.
And I believe you, Carla Marie, you're Rutgers people. I believe you guys play today your first game of your tournament. The Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Which is in Indianapolis. One of my favorite NBA commercials of all time. Hype Train Level 4 has been activated. We are going to talk about leaving books on planes. That will be explained in a second. Girl Boss, Wordle cheaters, Carla Marie's birthday slander. We'll hopefully get into that. And of course, you can always listen to the Morning Show podcast. And a huge shout out. We're not going to go through the 5 minutes of shout outs like we did on the Morning Show podcast this morning at the end. What?
Who's the huge shout out?
But a huge shout out to everyone who has been posting about the Morning Show podcast, listening to the Morning Show podcast. Even if you're not posting about it publicly, DMing us and saying the things that you like about it and how you've added it to your morning routine. Because I did get borderline emotional yesterday when I saw people posting our podcast screen in their car dashboard.
It's cool.
That was really cool to see because
cool.
that's how we got introduced to a lot of you was through your morning commute, and now that we can be a part of that again is really cool. What?
The chat, we're delayed, the chat's delayed. I don't know what's happening, but Fred said, if I pay $4K to come see you guys at an event, I'm literally going to MMA fight you both.
Yeah. That would be a great event, actually.
Celebrity deathmatch?
Well, here's what I'll offer. We're going to do an event. We'll do it in Cleveland, Ohio. And everyone that pays $4,000, I will wrestle. And then if you beat me, you win all the money.
All right, well, Fred is clearly going to beat you.
I don't know. I'm nimble. He's definitely a lot stronger. I saw him deadlifting yesterday. He can deadlift way more weight than I can with my fragile ass back.
Yeah, this bed is super soft, and I can't function with those beds anymore. I need a stiff one.
Let's see.
Oh, also, you know what I woke up to this morning? I decided to check in on the cats on the camera, and Erica chewed through the string of my shade, and it's completely broken and hanging off my window. So I now need to order a brand new electric shade through my shade guy.
Hope you got that money.
It's my dad.
So March Madness, as we go through the hype train, we're in level 5, so we're 70% of the way there. No, 30% of the way there. 70% left is what I meant to say. March Madness kicked off this week. And I know, Carla Marie, you don't love watching basketball. The squeaks of the sneakers bother you or something?
Yeah, I would say, I guess, if anything I'm going to enjoy the most is March Madness because, it's college.
And I think one of the reasons that March Madness is so big is, A, it has the largest pool of teams, right? And some school around you is going to be represented in March Madness. So you can have, even if you've never watched a college basketball game, there's a sense of local pride most likely.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Alaska. There's never an Alaska school. There's almost never a Hawaiian school. But this year, for our friends in the Northeast and specifically in New Jersey, there's a chance that 4 New Jersey teams get into the tournament.
So Rutgers, Seton Hall,
Princeton has the fast track on getting in for the Ivy League because they're in the lead of the Ivy League.
Lames.
And either St. Peter's or Monmouth. Because they have a chance. They'd have to beat Iona, a New York school, in their conference championship tournament. But St. Peter's is the number 2 seed, so they have an opportunity to do that. And Monmouth could do it as well.
Okay.
So having 4 teams in New Jersey, the last time there were 3 teams from New Jersey was 1991, which up until last year was the last time that Rutgers had made it. So
no, Rutgers made it 2 years ago.
No, last year.
You said 1991.
I said before last year.
Oh.
That was the last time Rutgers had made it. Now, Rutgers does need to win tonight to most likely lock up their bid, their at-large bid. But are there any other big college basketball fans
No.
in the chat? I know there are. And even if the thing about college basketball, though, is even if you're not a big fan, you're most likely going to watch it. You're most likely going to fill out a bracket. Maybe we should do like on ESPN. We could sign up and do like
when
a
do we have
Carla
to do
and
it by? We said that we would.
You'd be able to start filling it out Sunday night, and it would be due by Thursday morning.
This Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah, all the teams, all the selection committee stuff is all done by Sunday night. And that's when I'll know where I have to fly next weekend.
No, stop. You're not listening. When do we have to do the bracket by?
The bracket needs to be completed, depending on the settings, either Wednesday or Thursday of next week.
We won't talk about it till Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Let's see. Where is the low latency again in settings, says Cindy K, because apparently we
can't.
Super glitchy, which you'll probably hear that in
37 minutes.
When I say it.
Bianca said she was sad she didn't get a shout out. I'm assuming you mean on the morning show podcast, which means that we didn't see your social media post, which there could be a number of things. Sometimes the tags don't actually work. But I just added you to the list.
So we'll get you tomorrow in tomorrow's podcast. Shauna from West Virginia just took us over the limit, Carla Marie.
Alrighty.
She just took us. I can't get up from this chair.
Yeah, my shorts are too short.
Someone's going to have to get it. So I'm sitting in a chair that has like pretty high armrests, and it's completely under the desk. So it's like I'm in a high chair. Like I'm locked into this seat like a baby.
Also, apparently The Rock is 20 minutes south of us right now in Davie.
What? Doing what? Just hanging?
Can we go? We have to go south.
We do. Yeah, what's The Rock doing? How do you guys know? Oh, Seattle Cocktail Club is in the house?
Are they just recovered from the event?
I was wondering the same thing. Carla Marie, I don't know if anyone heard her, just said, have they just recovered from Seattle Cocktail District over the weekend? And I do know from working in the promotions world that putting on an event like that, I mean, you are working overtime.
Should I show off the thing while I'm up?
Yeah, go for it, since we got to Hype Train
Do you
Level 5.
want to see what's behind the curtain?
You're going to wait 45 minutes for an answer. Just go do it.
Hold on. No, I'm getting my dad a job. Vicky, he installs shades in the North Jersey area. If you want electric ones, he has to bring someone else because he doesn't know how to do that part. Maybe I'll come with him. I know how.
Also, Seattle Cocktail Club said 0% recovered. Now go do the curtain thing so we can move on.
I'm still not recovered. Vicky, reach out to me. I'll get you hooked up with the shade guy I know. Are you ready? You have to do a reveal.
And since we got through Hype Train Level 5, Carla Marie thinks this is a big deal. Reveal whatever you want to reveal. So that's the shower. There's a big-ass glass panel that reveals the shower.
It's like Taiwan.
While you're here. This is a really nice hotel, though.
Sway to the 99 said, I just renewed my Twitch membership for $5.99. You guys should charge more.
It's not up to us.
Yes, it is. We could charge more.
I don't believe so. Well, I don't think we can change it on here.
Oh.
What else? So yeah, there's a shower right there.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, maybe if we got through like more of the hype train, or like maybe like 8,000%, I would have taken a shower. No, that's no one.
It steams up though.
Huh?
It steams up.
Yeah, it's gonna steam up. It's glass in a shower. So you want to take the first sip, Carla Marie? Because you're not really a pre-workout person.
I mean, I take gummy pre-workout.
What flavor is this?
Cheers to The Rock. Who made it?
What flavor is it? Why are you slurping?
Nitric oxide? What does that mean?
It's the same stuff that Vin Diesel puts in his cars.
Pineapple passion fruit.
ZOA Nitric Oxide Support Pre-Workout Energy Supplement, 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, naturally flavored pineapple passion fruit. ZOA Plus. So I think ZOA is the regular ZOA is a bigger can, and that's more of like a Red Bull competitor. This is more of a C4 Bang Energy, Rain Energy competitor. It helps you focus, workout support, electrolytes, energy, immunity, and
like, here's my thing though.
Yeah.
This is why I love mocha shots from Seattle Gummy Company. If I had to drink this whole thing before I got all my energy, it'd be 4 hours from now, and I'd be peeing like a racehorse.
Also, not easy to travel with this. Very easy to travel with a mocha shop. All right. Cheers. It definitely tastes like it's naturally flavored. It tastes like regular fruit juice.
Yeah. Our friend Colby is here. She's in the lobby waiting for us now. You can't get up into the hotel without a room key.
This actually isn't bad. Although if you are used to like C4 or Rain Energy, those usually have 300 milligrams of caffeine. This has 200.
Because The Rock doesn't need that. He is a specimen.
I don't know. I think The Rock probably takes a lot more things than... I don't think he's like on crazy steroids, at least not at this point in
He's
his
just
life.
a healthy man. You see, he has waffle Sunday or something, and he doesn't eat bad the whole other week.
It's funny because I feel like sometimes when you explain things, especially off the cuff like that, you sound like a second grader giving a book report. And then George Washington found his friends,
Like
and they
your
had the
cousin.
American Revolution.
So we went to dinner at Anthony's family's house
yeah.
last night, and your little cousin Christian was explaining.
No, Ryan was.
Ryan was explaining the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, he was explaining what his class is learning right now about the American Revolution and whatnot. And it's funny listening to a kid's brain.
He's 10.
He's 10. And he had there was a lot of facts,
I was
but they
like,
were all,
I remember that.
They were all together. But there were a lot of facts. And he actually did a pretty decent job conveying them.
Yeah.
I would actually say he did a better job conveying what he learned in the American Revolution, Carla Marie, than you just did talking about The Rock's fitness.
I agree. They should do that for adults, like kids explain history.
Oh, man, Sarah from Fort Lauderdale, which we're in your hood right now, said, oh, my God, my first grader was telling me about Harriet Tubman the other day. And it was the same thing. And it's, I think, the coolest thing, listening to kids talk. What?
I'm just having trouble with the short.
You should probably push your chair up. Get some back support there.
No, I can't. These shorts are so tight because the last time I wore them was summer?
2019.
Or no, December, I guess.
Or 2019.
When I weighed less.
Mm-hmm.
So they are super tight around my like if you just look down right now,
Yeah.
I look like I'm putting little sausages into their casing.
A little bit. Okay.
It's so tight.
So
I'm gonna change into my
one of the
bike
things
shirt.
I love, and we'll move on from the American Revolution and Harriet Tubman in a second, is I love listening to kids explain things because you start realizing what people remember and what details, because that's something that sticks with us for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't remember all the intricate details. It's like, give me the big parts of this story and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love listening to kids repeat information.
The Rocky
And that was
Waffles.
actually not experiment, what's the word I'm looking for?
Study.
Activity thing that we did in improv. I don't know if your improv class did the same thing. It was, you had 2 minutes to tell a story about your life, and then to a partner, and then your partner had 30 seconds to repeat it. And you start realizing, like, oh, what are the important things that actually stuck out to people?
Yes, we did that in improv. Duh.
Yeah.
I was improv level 3.
Why can't I think of the word? Not activity.
Recall.
No. Exercise. Exercise, which is a word I should probably remember at some point. Next thing on the list, and shout out, I did see someone said they're a big Iowa Hawkeyes basketball fan, and I am really rooting for the Hawkeyes because there's a chance that Rutgers has to play them, and I don't want to see Rutgers win a single game. So today, I believe...
Go Knights.
Who are they playing? Is that today's game? Maybe. Anyway, moving on. March Madness, leaving books on planes. We did fly. We took the red eye from Seattle to Fort Lauderdale on Tuesday night.
Let me tell you something about taking a plane to Florida that's not Orlando. When you fly to Orlando, you are guaranteed to have a ton of children on your flight. When you fly anywhere else in Florida, you are guaranteed to have the exact opposite. 80-something-year-old people who can't walk or carry their own luggage. I literally saved a woman's life yesterday deplaning.
That was probably landing here. You know how normally there's like the wheelchair assistants?
There was a whole row of them.
It was the most I've ever seen landing in this airport. It was crazy.
And the woman was trying to take her suitcase down. And I know you missed this because you were in a different row.
Yeah.
And she grabbed it, but it was like too much weight for her. And she was like, oh. And she started falling on the guy next to her whose arms, I guess, were down. So he didn't catch her. And I was like, oh my God. And I grabbed the luggage and I put it down. And I was like, And I just looked at her. I was like, are you okay? She's like, thank you so much. And I was like, I got to get out of here. And I ran. I was so tired. I was miserable because I didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep. The lady next to me, and I try to temper my complaints about flights because, yes, people are going to talk. There's going to be noise. I very rarely, by the way, complain about crying babies because that's just something that's out of our control. And I can't imagine a worse experience for the parent than knowing that everyone on the plane hates you because of your crying baby and you can't do anything about it because they're like a year old. Now, if your kid is a piece of garbage at 5 years old,
that's your fault.
That's, no, sorry. But the annoying things that were happening on the plane, though, right as we were taking off, the woman directly next to me started filing her nails, which is kind of a weird, somewhat gross activity to be done on a plane when you're within like a foot and a half of the person next to you. But also, when you're trying to sleep, that sound,
Erica the cat hates that too.
Oh my, I was trying to not freak out and also go to sleep. And she did that for probably 30 to 45 minutes.
It should not take her that long.
Right now, every nail.
Well, the woman in my row decided she was going to read her book overnight and kept the light on the whole time. Luckily, I had my eye mask, but it was still like anytime I'd like move or something, it was blaring in my eyeballs. And that same woman had the book in her little compartment in front of her as we were getting off the plane. And the woman in between us was like, as she was getting up, ma'am, is that your book? You left your book? She goes, yeah, I finished it, and walked off the plane.
Now, here's the internal battle I had when Carla Marie told me that story.
Ma'am, this airplane is not your little library.
So it bothered me because it's like, oh, now that I'm done with this, it's someone else's problem to discard of it, which is quite literally one of the most selfish things you can do. But I wonder, and this is for anyone who has family or maybe has worked in the airline industry before, is there some sort of like unwritten, tradition of leaving your book for the flight crew and they actually appreciate it? Like, is that a thing that I just am not aware of?
The flight crew wanted her Danielle Steele novel.
What is Danielle Steele?
Like romance novels.
Oh, was that what it was?
I'm pretty sure.
So I just don't know if that's a thing that I just wasn't aware of happens, like leaving literature for the flight crew. Because if it is, that's actually kind of like a cool tradition thing. If not, it's the most selfish thing she could have done.
It's old people give 0 Fs about anything, and I can't wait to be there.
Let's see. So does anyone know?
Eats and Tweets says magazines and newspapers are great for flight attendants.
Okay, magazines do make sense.
Books go to Lost and Found.
Who says that?
Eats and Tweets. Eats and Tweets worked for Alaska Airlines.
Okay, but that's not like a thing. Like, it's not like a thing that everyone knows about that we just don't. Like, oh, you're supposed to leave your book, like cookies for Santa Claus. Like, you're supposed to leave it out for the flight crew, and then you have a better flight
for the pilot so they can read it.
There's an airport library in Philly. That's pretty cool. And I have seen some bookstores there in airports specifically. I don't know if it's like at the Hudson News counters, but there are some where it'll say like, buy your book, keep your receipt, and then when you go to the next airport, you'll get like 50% off your book if you return to that one. It's like a weird, not necessarily
like
a library, but you're still paying
rental.
a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so Eats and
Okay,
Tweets
so no,
says
it's not a thing.
It's not a thing. And Court, to be clear, the woman literally left the book in the seat flap in front of her.
Which you're supposed to clear out. They literally ask you, like, remove all the garbage. And I don't know what it is. Maybe, because I always think to myself, who raised you? Like, because you're acting like an animal. And I don't think any parent out there is like, oh, yeah, honey, leave your book. Someone else will clean it up for you. They're going to take care of your garbage.
Okay, you have to keep in mind, that lady's parents were born in the 1800s.
And they were probably even more, like, worried about what people thought and all of the, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that old lady should go in the garbage. Things. Martha, thank you for reminding me of my catchphrase so frequently.
So say it.
I did. That old lady's got to go in the garbage. That was mean, though.
I just don't understand how people can just think, oh, well, now that I'm done with this, it is someone else's problem. Like, I'm going to actively and admittedly not clean up after myself. Because at least the woman who sat between you and this lady that left her book, she reminded her.
No. Let me just, be clear. So Jen said, I accidentally left my earbuds on a plane. No.
Yeah.
Let me, and maybe there was a skip, a lag. The woman in between us said, ma'am, you left your book. And she literally turned around and said, oh, I know, I finished it.
Yeah, so it was not an accident. This was a purposeful, and she was reminded. But I would say, even if I was trying to be an a-hole, right, and just leave my garbage for someone else to clean up, if someone said, hey, you left this, I'd be like, ooh, I'd be embarrassed. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't admit that I'm just being an a-hole.
Right.
And she was like, no, I'm just going to admit it, and I'm going to move on with my life.
I cannot wait to get off that plane.
Yeah. Yeah, so very clearly, this was not a mistake. This was a purposeful, admittedly purposeful leaving of a book on a plane because they were done with it.
So Rachel said, but why are magazines okay but not books?
Good question.
So Eats and Tweets can probably answer this. I'd say probably because a magazine can easily be finished for a flight attendant in between doing their job, right? And then they can toss it.
While they're sitting on the plane.
Yeah, while they're in between, like, serving drinks and snacks and doing the safety stuff and all of that. Where a book requires generally hours of reading. They don't have that time. Now, then they are stuck with carrying something around they don't have space for. You see their tiny little luggages?
Yeah.
So I'd assume that's why. And like Eats and Tweet said, books actually go to lost and found because it is assumed that if you left a book on a plane, that is something of your property that you would like to have.
Let's see. Court with a K said, I always clean my own stuff up. No way you leave stuff like that. I hate when people leave their drinks and popcorn at the movies, too. I also hate that as well.
Yeah, same.
And I know, was it not Park Geek? National Parks. I don't know if it's on all the national park shirts, and it's usually like, leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
But at least leave it the same as you found it.
Yeah.
If you brought something in, just take it out with you.
Yeah.
It's not that hard of a concept. And I will say this as well, for whatever reason, air travel brings out the absolute trashiest, like, parts of all of us. It just brings out the worst for them, or not, maybe not all of us, but most of us. I don't know what it is.
Well, I felt so bad because I was tossing and turning like so much. Like I moved more than you see me move during the show.
Which is a lot.
The woman next to me had so much hair that it was over on my side, which wasn't bothering me because I was like leaning this way. But every time I moved, I would yank her hair, and I felt bad. Obviously, it's not my fault that her hair was there, but I would like yank her hair, and she watched like shows the whole time, so it's not like she was trying to sleep, but I was like, and I decided that from now on, we have to sit in the same row because I'm going to sit in the middle and I'm going to sleep on you.
Oh, we'll see about that. 203 viewers. Cheers to you guys.
Because the airplane wall is freezing, and they don't give you blankets if you're not in first class.
Do they even give blankets to first class?
Yeah, I think so.
They'll probably like warm you up and massage you in first class if you ask.
I need that.
We're going to move on now from planes and leaving books on planes to Girl Boss. Now, this is something that Carla, you posted on your Instagram on International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Which was March 8th.
Yes. So I say this pretty often when it comes up. I hate the term girl boss. Have I used the term girl boss in my life? Absolutely. I'd say it was about 5 years ago, probably actually when we started our morning show and I started hearing it more from other females within the industry. I was like, yeah, but no one's saying, oh my God, Anthony, you're so inspirational. You're a boy boss.
No, that's because they call me king.
Oh, okay. So I was like, stop putting qualifiers for females, like female qualifiers, before things that males are already doing.
Yeah. Or boss lady.
Or boss lady, yeah. Then after I posted that video, which crazy how many people shared it, because I can see on my end like all the shares, and I was like,
how many can you pull it
I was
up?
like, damn, ladies, I love this. But sorry, someone DM'd us. Crochet Anything DM'd us about the podcast.
Oh, cool.
I'm going in there now.
I want to see what this Crochet Anything account is about,
though. so many women were like, yeah, another one is working mom. I'm a working mom. Mm-hmm. Does anyone ever say I'm a working dad? No. Also, I filmed that video like 4 times because I didn't like the way it came out. View insights. It was shared 560 times.
Jeez.
And it was bookmarked by 66 people.
That's a lot of shares for a post like that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Because another one. What is your thoughts on Boss Bitch from Ted Lasso? So my friend Shandon, who owns a lair, has a poster in the store that says, I'm not a boss bitch, I'm a boss bitch.
Okay.
Like comma, bitch.
Like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Jay-Z?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that. So, I mean, same thing. I had one of my old berries instructors, Shelly, respond and was like, I hate when people say bad bitch or stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, bitch is a whole nother thing. Unfortunately, bitch is like very pop culture-y in music and stuff like that.
But I think there are ways where it's a term of endearment. And if you're saying like bad bitch, just like, oh, that's a bad man right there. Like there's a way where, you never heard that? Like that's a sports thing. Like, I don't know. It's one bad dude.
No, and my thing is like, is it in music, right? No one is singing about being a girl boss.
No.
Because it's embarrassing. And I got to find this article. Someone sent it to me. This woman wrote an amazing article. She's like, stop with your glitter planners as an adult that say girl boss. Like, yeah, I have glitter things, but like, you're literally making yourself look like an 8-year-old.
But at the same time, if that's something that you enjoy, then I mean,
I know.
Go for it.
It's tough. I do.
If you like glitter and those things in your daily life and it makes you feel better and makes you feel more confident, then go with it. But I think it's
important for people to understand, hey, there's also a negative connotation with what you're doing. But keep doing it if you want to.
So here's the difference, I think. Put whatever you want on your desk, put whatever you want in your house, put whatever you want on your planner, use whatever sticker you want. If you are describing yourself, because you have every right to describe yourself however you would like to describe yourself. However, when you have a woman who is a manager or some sort of boss title in your workplace, calling them a girl boss that's what needs to be cut out.
Yes.
Right? You can call yourself whatever you want.
Boss lady. The only reason Anthony and I will say boss lady is sometimes okay is because we used to call our bosses boss man.
I very specifically, I've had 4 direct program directors in radio. Mark Medina in New York, Justin Riley in Seattle, Mayhem in Seattle, and Jared in Seattle. All 4 of them, when I would walk into their office, I would say, what's up, boss man? Like, I don't know why. I would text them boss man. It just happened. So when people are like, no one calls people boss man, I always sat back. I was like, oh, I do sometimes. Am I not supposed to do that?
The questions of can I say this, can I say that? You can say whatever you want. My point is putting a female qualifier before anything makes it less than. Why do we need to qualify a girl boss when we don't say boy boss?
Yes.
That's the difference. If you want to call someone a girl boss, by all means do it. But you're just, in the end, defeating the whole purpose of International Women's Day of trying to make things equal. That's all I'm trying to say. Say whatever the fuck you want. Say boss bitch, bitch boss,
slow down.
all of it. And yes, glitter phone cases are okay. I'm not saying glitter.
You have a glitter phone case, don't you?
No, but I have glitter things. It was the article I was reading was saying when you put pink glitter things that say girl boss and you're trying to have people take you seriously as a CEO or whatever your situation is, it just looks quote unquote childish from this article.
Yeah, so I think there's girl boss and boss lady also are very different things because you're using the term girl, not boy.
And boss babe.
What would be the male equivalent of that be for boss?
Boss babe, I guess.
Because a guy could be
boss
a babe.
hunk.
Yeah, boss hunk would be it. Yeah.
And that is my thing. And then I had a teacher reach out to me after I posted it, and she said, I'm playing this video for my middle school students because I want them to understand that.
It's an angry video for a middle schooler to watch.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Because I
heard you
being
record
mean.
it 4 times. No.
I was sarcastic. Are you saying that a woman is aggressive?
Yes, you specifically are aggressive. Your pace, your tone, everything about you is aggressive. Let's see. Oh, let's see. So this is Macadamia Nut. Oh, hold on. Let me allow it. Because different opinions are totally okay. It says, I disagree, Carla Marie. That seems anti-feminist. Women should be able to use girl boss to refer to themselves if it makes them feel confident. That's what I was saying before.
And say whatever you want for yourself. All I'm trying to do is explain to you that when you say girl boss opposed to just boss, you are saying I need to have a female qualifier before this to prove that I can't just say boss. Men can say boss. I can't be a boss unless I say girl boss. Mm-hmm. Say whatever you want that makes you feel confident. Everyone has their own thing. But to some people, when you say, oh, I'm a girl boss, just be a boss.
It's fair.
And that's like, we got rid of saying actors and actresses. Yeah, sometimes we say female actor or male actor, but most times you just say actor.
When did that happen? I realized that recently.
Ago.
I never knew that was like a change, but
you're an actor. You are good at your craft. You are a leader. You are a boss. You're not a girl boss.
There was some award show that was on recently. What was the most recent award show?
SAG Awards.
Okay. And a couple times they were bringing up women to the stage and they would say actor, but I was like, oh, I guess this is now.
You're an
I had
actor.
no idea for however many years, I
Right.
guess, that it's changed. But that's a thing now. And it's like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I know flight attendants is a term that has changed more recently. It used to be a stewardess. But if you were a guy, it was a flight. So I think a lot of those things do breed equality.
Yes.
Because when you have a more equitable language in the workplace, everything else follows suit.
Yeah.
So when you're not necessarily breaking down differences between men and women and their identical roles in the workplace, then it becomes more, then equality follows suit.
Sorry. I didn't want to lose this. Yes, completely agree. When we all use the same terms, like mailman, Fred the mailman is Fred the mailman. But like when I have a...
But if he was Fran and his Instagram or Twitter handle was Fran the mail lady, then we would call her Fran the mail lady.
Yes.
Because that's what she called herself.
I call my mail person a letter, like that is my letter carrier.
Yep.
I think that's the proper term because I don't say I
Mail
have a
carrier
mail lady.
or letter carrier. I guess they're the same thing, right?
But Sonali has a great point. We need to get that feature where we can pin things to the screen.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I need to figure it out.
She said, I think in the end, actions speak louder than words. Call me whatever you want, but respect me, pay me, support me, and my rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Amen.
Let's see.
Friend.
So what about girl power, says Mellow
Well,
FM.
that's Spice Girls, so I just go, yes.
I also hope Fred one day meets Fran the mail lady, if she's a real person and they fall in love and they can have male babies.
Are you just saying you only want them to have
letter
boy babies?
babies.
I also go back and forth with calling people over the age of women over the age of 18 girls because
Lady is such a weird word, though.
right or sometimes it's like when you're saying this woman, sometimes it sounds
Yeah.
weird, but you're not a girl
I
over
know.
the age of
and
18.
I've struggled
use
with
it.
that before because as a guy too, there's a weird connotation with all of it, right? If I'm describing someone, I say, "Oh, I think at the gym it's different. I saw this woman working out at the gym," but I think girl happens to be the default word we use for females.
Yeah.
But if I said, "Oh, I saw this girl and she was really cute," like there's a weird connotation there because girl sounds younger than it should.
And if you're like 22 saying it, like it makes
A little
sense, I
different.
guess. But
once you hit your 30s, you got to stop saying girls are cute.
Meg said, this is why I hate gamer girl.
What is gamer girl?
Like it,
Oh, is that like just like girl
phrase.
boss? Yeah, yeah.
I'm a gamer.
Mhm.
I'm not, but just say it.
I dislike ma'am. I think I use ma'am too often.
I use
I'm trying to be respectful, and I'll say ma'am like that. That sounded weird.
I use ma'am and sir sarcastically, or just like
I'm zero sorry. I just use it.
I don't do that. I don't do it to strangers. I just say excuse me normally. To the cats all the time, I call them ma'am and sir when they're being rude. And sometimes I'll be like, hello, sir, to like friends that are boys. Hello, ma'am, to friends that are girls, women, ladies.
Let's see. Alicia from the 215. I agree with your comments on girl boss, but but I have heard a woman use boss babe as a compliment to other women who are performing at a high level, breaking barriers, and in general, kicking butt.
Agree.
How do you feel, Carla Marie?
But also at the same time, my question is, can't you just be like, damn, you're a boss.
Yeah.
You're a successful leader. You're a boss.
Yeah. And I mean, we are splitting hairs to a
Yes.
degree as well.
Yes.
This is I think here's one thing to always consider. It is great that we have made it this far as a society where we can at least argue this point
Semantics.
of equality as opposed to just getting jobs.
Just
we still
being
need
able to vote.
There's still a lot that needs to be fixed, right? There's still a lot in equal pay. There's still a lot in respect. There's still a lot in just the way we allow as a society women to be spoken to and to speak. Or I would actually say the handicaps we put on them as opposed to how we allow men to act and speak and be spoken to in the workplace.
Yes. And listen, you can disagree with me and keep going about your day, calling yourself a girl boss and all of that. All I'm trying to say is you don't need that to prove your worth. You don't need the word girl if you're a 50-something-year-old woman who's a CEO of a company. You are a boss. You are a leader. You are successful without putting the word girl in front of it. It doesn't matter that you are a female. And then someone was like, yeah, but the difference is it's harder for females to get to that position, so we like to put that in front of it. And I was like, I get that.
Mm-hmm. That's an argument you can make.
You can, but you're also 50-something years old saying you're a girl boss.
Yeah.
Like,
and you can make the argument either way. I think hopefully this is one of those things that in 50 years, hopefully we're not even having this discussion.
No. Well, hopefully not, because I'll be retired. Seattle Cocktail Club says when you use the qualifier of babe or bitch, you are saying she runs a business despite being a girl. Thank you. Seattle Cocktail Club, yeah, she's a girl boss. Could you imagine? I was like, Amy's such a girl boss. Like, I would never. But we always say Amy's badass. We don't say Amy's a badass bitch. Mm-hmm. We say Amy's badass. And I say that about men, too.
Did you say it about me?
I say you're a dick.
I'm a dick boss.
That's a whole nother different thing.
All right, we are going to move on from that. Wordle cheaters. This is very quick, but I found it fascinating. So there is a website. I want to look this up so I don't butcher it first. Called Word Finder X. It's a data compiler called Word Finder X.
The irony is that you spelled Wordle wrong.
Did I really?
Thank you, Lenny.
Oh, I did. Wordle is what I spelled. Whatever. This was done very quickly today. Wordle is the game that we played on the show a while ago. It seems like everyone's still playing it. You have 6 attempts to guess the 5-letter word of the day. I believe everyone's back on the same word, right? They switched it up a little bit. New York Times bought it, tried to fudge it up a little bit. But apparently, since New York Times bought it, which is the height of Wordle, right? That's when it was on top of mind for everybody. Since then, this site claims that cheaters are cheating 3 times more than they were before. Well, the more people you introduce to a product, the more people are going to try to game the system.
I think New York Times made the word harder too.
I think sometimes there's like weird words, but the last couple have been back to normal.
I gave up.
Oh, I'm on an 8-game streak now.
I don't have time for Wordle.
And I'm only on an 8-game streak, not a longer, probably 16-game streak because I forgot to play one day. But the interesting part here, what states do you think, according to this study, cheat the most? And look up answers online. My
immediate answer is New Jersey, but I think I saw the answer in the chat.
Let me see. Where are you looking?
Tacoma Swifty.
Ah, yeah, there is. But she didn't say the next 2. So
okay, it's got to be New Jersey.
No.
Because they murder people and throw them in the Hudson River.
So New Hampshire is the state with the most Wordle cheaters.
Why? Like,
followed.
What do they even do there?
Followed directly in a tie with, hold on, where'd it go? God damn it.
No, not your bad, Tacoma Swifty.
Oh, here we go. Their neighbors, Rhode Island and Vermont.
What goes on there?
I don't know. New England, just a bunch of cheaters. They saw Tom Brady.
That's it.
And they were
the balls deflating.
But I thought that was fascinating. Like, I thought New England was also the smartest part of the country. Right? Because that's where you have a lot of the prestigious schools. A lot of the Ivy League schools are there.
No, I've been there. Let me tell you something about Rhode Island. They don't know. They have no idea where they're going. No offense to if you're from Rhode Island.
No, we're going to talk Rhode Island in a second.
Come yell at me in the DMs and we'll have a conversation. But I spent a year of my life there. And let me tell you something. Going from New Jersey to Rhode Island as an 18-year-old. As an 18-year-old, I was like, do you guys know how to do anything here? Have you left this state? I don't think you have. They like drive the wrong way. Everything. There's no lights anywhere. It's dark at night. The idiocy that happens in that state. So now I understand.
So keeping on pace here with Rhode Island, as I was packing to leave Tuesday evening, because we took a red eye here to Florida, one of my friends had messaged me about a college basketball game that was on, a championship game. It was in the NEC. And it was Bryant taking on Wagner. So I'm like, you know what?
Bryant is a Rhode Island school.
Bryant is a Rhode Island school. Wagner is in Staten Island. 2 islands that justifiably so have a pretty bad rap. Although Rhode Island's not an island anyway.
Sorry, Jim.
Either way, a fight broke out in the stands at this Bryant-Wagner game. They had to stop the game for 30 to 35 minutes as they cleared out everybody. One of the Wagner players tried to jump into the stands, and thankfully one of his teammates held him back. But it was
dirty.
Wild.
Yeah, there's mobsters.
In Rhode Island.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Italians there. Their accents are so bizarre.
Rhode Island,
because it's a mix of Jersey-ish, New York, and Massachusetts combined. And like, I don't even know. I can't even do it. And Jim said he's offended. Sorry, Jim.
It's okay. You're allowed to be. We try to make sure we offend one person
also,
every couple minutes.
Rhode Island's not an island.
No, I said that earlier.
I know, but going back to they're like, we're going to call ourselves an island.
Let's see.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, there was a player on Bryant from Rutgers, which says a lot.
It does.
Says a lot about that team. Got to leave for an appointment. Enjoy your appointment. I hope it's a good one, Vicky. Have a good one. But it was wild seeing they actually at one point, they were thinking about either ending the game because it was almost like a 30-point loss.
Oh.
And there was only 4 minutes left in the game. So at one point they were just going to say, we're not bringing anyone back because they had to take both teams and put them in the locker rooms as they figured everything out, brought the cops onto the court. And it was just a wild scene. So they were thinking about not bringing the teams back and just calling the game because Bryant had such a big lead and there was only 4 minutes left. Then they were thinking about kicking out all of the fans. And then
all I kept saying though was like, people haven't been in public for so long.
And that's what even the announcers were like, people just forgot how to act in public.
I was yelling that.
You also, college basketball, it's a lot of students. Listen, I was a very rowdy fan when I would go to Seton Hall games. Would I fight somebody for a Seton Hall game? No.
But then Anthony said one kid got taken out by police.
Yeah, only one kid from
and they
Bryant.
Zoomed in on him, and I said, could you imagine you were paying for your kids' college tuition, and then you see his dumb ass getting taken out by police at a basketball game? Done. Goodbye. You're coming back home, and you're going to community college, which shouldn't be a punishment, but you're sitting in my home and going to college.
Yeah, community college is not because it's a punishment. Community college is because you are not out of my sight for more than your classes.
Done.
And then you're coming back.
Idiot.
Yeah, listen, I did a bunch of dumb things in college. I'm sure a lot of people did. But getting arrested and shown on national TV, being walked out of a gymnasium, got to be embarrassing.
Court brings up a great point about Wordle. Like, it's not like we're all losing prizes because people are cheating. Like, they're cheating and they're affecting themselves, not the rest of us. And that's fine. But it's just so funny to see that it's all New England.
But it's also interesting to see in a game that you don't need to make public, like unless you share your scores, no one cares. But it's interesting to see that people are willing to cheat even on a game like Wordle that has there are no positive or negative consequences to winning or losing Wordle.
No. But people still cheat.
It's weird. If they want to ruin it for themselves or ruin the fun themselves, or maybe that is fun. Maybe the cheating part is the fun part for them, and that's why they do it.
Yep.
Man, we are all over the place today.
Okay.
Last thing on there. I don't know if we have enough time to get to Carla's
birthday
birthday slander.
We'll do it next week. The hotel we're staying at, 'cause people were asking, is the Del Mar in Fort Lauderdale. Del Mar.
Dal, not Del Mar, because Del Mar
Dale.
Is it one word?
Yep.
DALMAR. Del Mar in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. It's very close to the airport. It's actually close
very
to
close
to
LA Fitness in Fort Lauderdale.
There's a number of LA Fitnesses here.
You know, I'm so mad I didn't go to Orange Theory this morning, and apparently it's the anniversary, the first time they opened, and it's like Orange Theories everywhere are celebrating today, and this is the one.
Oh, well, you should have woken
up.
up.
They're not having their party till March 18th. They told me that yesterday when I was there.
I did realize, and I had grand plans, because we don't have to start the show on the East Coast until 11 a.m., and the last time that we started the show on the East Coast, I did get to go work out earlier, and it was actually a great feeling to get my workout done before the show. Had grand plans to do that this morning, but between finishing up yesterday or this morning's podcast late last night and the time difference, I didn't realize how much that time difference just kicked my butt.
Well, you napped. I didn't sleep on the plane, so I lost a whole day of sleep in my life.
Yeah, no, I definitely took a solid nap.
Yeah, so the rest of our schedule is as follows. Our friend Colby is literally sitting in the lobby of this hotel right now, so we got to go get her. And then Andy arrives in 2 hours. Serial killers, Andy. We're going to scoop up his dumb butt at the airport.
Who, by the way, I shouldn't say this, but it is a big enough deal. If you have not listened to today's morning show podcast, today's edition of the Morning Show podcast, I want to keep saying it properly, the Morning Show podcast, because that's how you're going to have to search it for it to come up. If you haven't listened to today's edition of the Morning Show podcast, we had unbelievable guests in Intern John and Shelby Sauce.
Yes.
Playing Cover Lovers.
So fun.
tomorrow, if this was like the peak of fun during one of our games, tomorrow we have Andrew, Elvis's assistant, and Scotty B,
who hosts the Serial Killers podcast together.
Yes, and for the record, Scotty B has been like a staple at Z100 since its existence, basically. They apparently hate each other. And the game was so fun. They are going to be tomorrow's contestants on 2 Second Tunes. Mm-hmm. So definitely check that out. That is the one thing that we do. We try to do well in advance is the games because it does take a little bit.
Have people, like, we have to go with other people's schedules.
Exactly.
So anyway, we're going to pick up Andrew today, 2 p.m., and then we're going to drive the 2-ish hours to Key Largo, Montego, baby, wanna... You know we're going to listen to that the whole way there. And then we get to Key Largo, stay in our Airbnb. Erica gets there tomorrow morning, Erica Shea, and tomorrow night is like the welcome party for the wedding. So like we're going to hang out, do some paddle boarding during the day, jet skis, parasailing.
So SAP181 made an interesting comment, said the positivity in Florida will be off the hook this weekend because of Andrew. Here's the interesting thing about Andrew.
You know, he likes to be positive, Andrew, but he's a jerk.
No, Andrew, and this is what one of the things I love about Andrew, is Andrew in his delivery and his voice, he always sounds happy and
he talks
positive
about this on Serial Killers.
But he gets away with being petty. He gets away with sometimes being a negative Nancy because his voice doesn't sync to what you would expect comments like that to sound like. He always has a positive sound, even when he's being mean to you. And it's one of the most fascinating. I love it.
He'll be like,
absolutely love it.
Hey, Carla. He calls me Carla.
Yeah. And they both did that in the game.
I know, because they think it's hilarious. Oh, Andy also hates being called Andy, and I am the reason everyone calls him Andy for 8 years now.
Zach T. Lane, thank you very much for the subscription. For 13 months, currently on a 9-month streak.
To make it very clear, Zap said, damn, he sure fakes it on air. He is unbelievably positive.
Yes.
He is 100% one of the most positive people I know. But he will also say negative things in a positive voice. It is very hard to explain. We'll try to get him on Instagram or something to explain it. But
he loves making fun of Carla Marie, too.
Yes, and we go at each other. I can't wait to see his dumb face. Anyway, so we get to Key Largo tonight. We're going to hit the town. Tomorrow morning, Erica arrives. We're going to hang, do beach, sun stuff. Tomorrow night is the welcome party for the wedding of Elizabeth, who was best assistant in the world. She was Elvis's assistant after Anthony. Mm-hmm. Then Saturday, we're going to hang for the day, and Saturday night is the wedding, all in Key Largo.
So I do want to say something quick about Andy. Someone said, Lisa, his voice is very pleasing to listen to.
It is.
Here's the interesting thing, and we've never really talked about this with Andrew. When we had our audition process on like the second version of our morning show, Andrew was one of the people that we had as our finalists. However, he wasn't allowed to make it to the on-air audition round. Not because of anything we did, not because of anything he did. And he applied just like everybody else. And he had everyone, because we did these Zoom meetings with like the top 12 people, I believe it was, before we narrowed it down to 7 who would audition on the show.
Before Zoom was a thing.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
We didn't even know how to set it up.
So he had the whole conference room. There was probably like 8 people involved in the process in stitches. Him and Leslie probably had the most people laughing on those calls. And we told everyone, because there were a lot of the executives who didn't know who Andrew was at the time, and were not necessarily keen on the idea of him being in the process. And all of them in the room were like, wow, he blew us away, blah, blah, blah. The reason Andrew, and we told him this, he knows, the reason Andrew was not allowed to continue and make it to the top 7 and be on air is because literally one executive, a very, very high-level executive at iHeartRadio, Brad, said, I don't want a third person from Elvis Duran in the Morning Show in Seattle, so he is not going. That was it. He didn't listen to Andrew.
It wasn't that name. Oh,
yeah, it was. It absolutely was. He never listened to Andrew. He never listened to anyone else. He was not part of the process. I don't think Elvis knows this. He just saw, fuck him. Not fuck Elvis. Fuck the other guy. It's very clear. Very, very clear. I love Elvis.
I don't know if the buffering is going to, it's like the T-Mobile commercial.
So
yeah.
this guy, and this is when we complain about like the executive, the C-suite, if you will, in radio, this is one of the problems. This guy who literally had no part of the entire process just came in and said, nope, I understand that you all think he's one of the funniest, best people you could have in this program.
It was the fix.
Not happening.
The fix for Seattle is not another person from Elvis Duran in the Morning Show.
Yeah. So, but
I love that we can say these
but
things.
keep in mind, he never listened to him. He never listened to anyone that was part of this process. He just saw where he had worked previously and held it against him.
Come at me, Brad.
He saw the name Elvis Duran on his resume and said no, which is like, has to be the first time in history anyone sees Elvis Duran on a resume in the radio world and says no, thank you. Brads and Karens, they're out there. What if we see him
But
this
guess
weekend?
what? I will say thank you, Brad, because you ensured that our very good friend didn't move across the country for a job that would probably ruin his life.
Yeah, that's true.
I appreciate you for that.
But yeah, so we to go back to Lisa's comment, Andrew does have a very pleasant voice. Andrew is very funny. To go back to Sap's comment, he is very pleasant and positive to be around, and I cannot wait to spend the weekend with Andrew.
Oh, it's going to punch him in the stupid face.
That's a weird thing to say when we're complimenting someone. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. I'm going to put the screen up here for a second, the stream ending screen, because I don't want the stream to stop too early.
Oh, that happened.
Obviously, if you have not listened to today's edition of the Morning Show podcast, we hope you can do that. Thank you for putting up with the glitches in the stream today.
Well, then we have to stop talking at some point.
I will.
I got to go get Colby.
Carla Marie's going to go down there and get Colby. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you so much. If you need the link to the Morning Show podcast for today, all you've got to do is type in exclamation point and the word podcast in the chat, and you should get a link to Carla Marie's link in bio. That's what I put in there.
For the podcast?
Yeah, because then you get like Apple, you get the options.
I don't know why you put mine. The whole show one works.
Okay.
But feel free because there's links to vibrators on there.
Everyone, if you can just say goodbye so I know that you are ready for this podcast or this stream to end, I will then turn it off. Just everyone throw in the word goodbye or you look great gif or something.